over the weekend. Oh, over the weekend. That Twitter, that social media, though that platform can be a very dangerous platform. Well, Tony Khan was boasting about AEW Dynamite being the number one show on cable Wednesday night, even though it only had 800 something viewers. Now shows, across the summer this year are down. Maybe some of that has to do with the fact of the writer's strike. We're not getting a lot of new shows. It's been a very nice summer, here in the Midwest. Maybe that has to do something with it. People are more outside, obviously, in the summer. The numbers go down a lot, but they have gone down tremendously this summer as compared to summers in the past. So AEW won the 18 to 49 demographic, obviously, on Wednesday night, which put them, number one on the charts. Now the numbers did not come out to see the exact number they got. I thought it was like 0.28 or something like that. I saw that maybe WrestleNomics had posted that I had subscribed to or something like that. But Tony Khan was boasting about AEW's terrific Dynamite ratings and how Collision has been doing so great, even though they've been losing views every week and nobody is watching a damn wrestling show on a Saturday night, and they just sold barely 1,500 tickets in Saskatchewan, Canada. And I don't care how small a venue Saskatchewan, Canada is, selling 1,500 tickets for a show is not very good business. Then you see AEW Rampage going down, and nobody watches AEW Rampage because nobody gives a damn about AEW Rampage. Well, at the same time, Tony Khan claims that he's doing great against the quote-unquote competition. Yet the quote-unquote competition is killing TV ratings. That product is very hot right now. Their ratings are going up and up and up every single week, and they have a cinema storytelling draw, and people are talking about WWE, and people are coming back to WWE, and the momentum right now, unlike last year where the momentum was arguably all with All Elite Wrestling during the booking of Vince McMahon, the momentum right now is all with WWE. Anyway, to make a long story short, I had tweeted basically to Tony Khan that he was acting like a child, boasting about all of these great ratings and how AEW is the best wrestling in the world, yada, yada, yada. And I admire it. I get it. You have to market your show. I market the Brand Sport podcast. I completely understand it, but don't tell a lie to your audience, Tony Khan. Anyway, the AEW audience came after me, and they've been coming after me for weeks and weeks and weeks, saying that I'm a child. I hate AEW. I'm a WWE fanboy. Yada yada yada. Let me just say this: AEW is not a good product right now, and AEW Collision was a bad idea. And I said it at the time. I don't care about AEW Collision. I don't care what date it's on. Putting it on a Saturday was a terrible idea. And marketing it with all its WWE stars plus CM Punk was clearly not moving the needle like I predicted when he came back for AEW. I thought AEW should have not brought him back. I've been proven right on everything, and AEW fans cannot stand it. Because what wrestling fans fail to realize, and I understand, there are people that like WWE. There are people that like AEW out there, and I completely understand. There are people that like New Japan. There are people that like TNA. There are people that like Ring of Honor, also done by Tony Khan. There are people that like a lot of different wrestling promotions out there. However, even in their down days, WWE still outdrew AEW by a considerable amount. And again, WWE, for the time period they're in, they're doing record box office, record merchandise sales, television ratings are going through the roof in an era where TV ratings are going down. And WWE, along with the NFL, the NBA, and Major League Baseball, are the only 3 to 4 things in the television era that have actually moved ratings. AEW, they still may be ranked number one, but their viewership and their 18 to 49 demo, even if it's number one on the cable charts, it's still going down. Where WWE's is up almost double, sometimes triple the amount in 18 to 49 demo. And at times last year where they were getting 2.2 million viewers, they're getting 2.5, 2.6 million viewers for SmackDown. And in the era of Raw, where they were getting 1.7 to 1.8, they're now getting anywhere from 1.8 to 2 million. So clearly the translation is people are wanting to see WWE because of the superstar that they are offering right now. They have one of the most talented rosters that they've ever had, and that includes the Attitude Era, that includes the Ruthless Aggression Era, and the Bloodline story is really driving it. So these AEW fans can say all they want. You can have your opinion all you want. If you think AEW is great, go ahead and let me know down below. But I don't want this fake news to come out saying that AEW is all great and WWE still sucks and Tony Khan's the best and yada yada yada, because it is not true. Wrestling is not for everybody. And the fact is that there are a lot of casual wrestling fans like myself in WWE who don't even watch NXT. All we watch is Raw and SmackDown and the premium live events. There is no interest to me in AEW. There is no interest in New Japan Pro Wrestling. There is no interest to me in TNA. I barely have any interest in NXT unless a huge main roster star like Seth Rollins shows up to defend the NXT Championship against Braun Breaker. And that's because I like stars. I like rooting for superstars. I like rooting for big brands. And WWE, and I have said this before, during the pandemic has brought my love back for the company, because that company has provided me so many great moments for the good and the bad times of my early childhood and now into my adult life. And I've stopped caring about the backstage news and the backstage rumors a lot, even though obviously what's going on with CM Punk and the Elite and the Vince McMahon stories and everything we hear, it's all fun to read about. But when you stop taking wrestling so literally, and you just watch the product for what it is, sports entertainment, and that's the one thing WWE gets right. It's not professional wrestling. Every match does not have to be 5 stars. Every match does not have to be about this great sport that Gunther loves. Gunther can be one of those pieces, but then you can have comedy characters. You can have different types of wrestlers, different sizes, different gimmicks, and it really makes a complete, diversity portfolio, if you will, of wrestling talent. And I'm enjoying it. And I think that AEW personally is in trouble because of the fact that CM Punk was supposed to do this major draw for the company, can now barely get them to even sell 2,000 tickets. And people were going back at me, telling me, oh, ticket sales don't matter. WWE live event sales are up once again. AEW live event sales are down. And I do not care what you say. If you don't sell 2,000 tickets for a show, it is bad. And right now, Tony Khan is the one that declared the war on WWE. And I'm sorry, Tony, you're losing, and you're losing badly. All right, enough on my rant on All Elite Wrestling. Let's get to some actual real wrestling. And that right behind me in my YouTube virtual background is Roman Reigns delivering the low blow shot he gave his cousin Jey Uso this past week on Friday Night SmackDown. That cinema of a segment and that cinema of a show from Madison Square Garden, the Mecca, who, by the way, has seen more great wrestling in the last 20 years than the New York Knicks have been good. But anyways, I digress. The show kicked off with the Usos hosting the tribal court of Roman Reigns, trying to convict Roman Reigns of every wrongdoing, of the pushing, of the shoving, of the manipulating he's done to the Usos, to Solo Sikoa, to Paul Heyman, not just over the last couple of months, but over the 3-year reign of the tribal chief. Roman Reigns then realized, I'm not that person. I'm a good guy. I'm going to get on my knees. I'm going to surrender my tribal chief to Jey Uso. I'm going to beg Jey Uso for forgiveness, only to give Jey Uso that nut shot and to allow Solo Sikoa and myself to beat the absolute living hell out of my cousins, forcing Jimmy Uso to go to the hospital. Excuse me. After Solo Sikoa tied Jey Uso up and forced Jey Uso to watch as Roman Reigns beat the hell out of Jimmy Uso. And then later in the night, Jey Uso came back and delivered a chair shot while Roman Reigns was trying to hit him with the championship. It was like bringing a knife to a gunfight. Jey Uso got the upper hand on Roman. He got the upper hand on Solo Sikoa. And Jey Uso, the man who I have publicly stated many times, should be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns for the undisputed Universal Championship is now going to be challenging Reigns for the undisputed championship in the main event at Ford Field of SummerSlam. And I don't think I'm overstating it when I say this could be one of the biggest main events, not only in the history of SummerSlam, but in the history of the great company that is World Wrestling Entertainment. The story is there of Jey Uso 3 years ago, Roman Reigns' first feud, Clash of Champions 2020, Hell in a Cell 2020, where Roman Reigns locked Jimmy Uso in that guillotine and forced Jey Uso to fall in line, forced Jey Uso to become the right-hand man. Eventually, Jimmy Uso would fall in line. Eventually, Solo Sikoa would fall in line. Then Jimmy turned. Then Jey turned. Will this be eventually when Solo Sikoa turns on Roman Reigns? I said on last Tuesday's show that I did not think, as I was recapping Money in the Bank, I did not think that they would have Jey Uso defeat Roman Reigns at SummerSlam for the Undisputed Universal Championship. I still think Roman Reigns is going to hold on that championship till at least WrestleMania 40. In the past, I have pondered if WWE would consider letting Roman Reigns break Bruno Sammartino's record and get to 2028 as undisputed champion. That is not going to happen, I believe, at this point. But I do think Jey Uso, it's as real as it gets. Jey Uso has been the one to pin Roman Reigns, which the crowd also chanted, "You got pinned," and Roman Reigns fired back at him and told him to acknowledge him because he is the head of the table. He is the tribal chief. And all I got to say is, Roman, I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. I acknowledge this segment on SmackDown that went 20 minutes over. It's a lot of time. By the way, DirecTV, thank you for being in contract negotiations with Nexstar. I had to wait a whole 24 hours to watch the event on Hulu. I hope you fix it next week because I can't wait to watch Friday Night SmackDown on Fox. But nonetheless, this segment was absolute gold. It is everything in WWE. It did not involve a match. And when you get storytelling at this level, the acting of Reigns, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, Paul Heyman, it all works. And it all feels new. It all feels fresh. And you don't even want to talk during this segment. You are waiting on your hands and knees almost at the edge of your seat, waiting to see what's going to happen. And chef's kiss, just like a movie, just like a storyline in a TV show, when you can get me invested in the characters and in the storyline you're telling, I will be there every single week because I cannot wait to see what happens next. Like that clip from the Brand's World Podcast? If so, make sure you go down there and hit that subscribe button. While you're down there hitting the subscribe button, make sure to also hit the notification bell so you never miss another upload. And make sure you check out all the other clips from the Brand's World Podcast right here on YouTube.